Good morning, Academy 55. David Kahn here on Tuesday, the 5th of August, 2025. It's now 4 minutes to 8 in the morning here in the UK. Looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the Academy 55 indicators and strategy. So, what do we see here? Well, we see that we had a sell alert at 7:41. After the price had been into the sell zone on the 5 minute time frame. So we knew to take the next sell, and that's the sell where the sell zone started. So we took the next sell, and you would adjust, you give yourself a 2.5 pip stop loss. You would have just got your 2%. But it's very tight, but it still might come down even more. As yet, we haven't, that hasn't finished if you add a little bit later, but that was at 7:46. So if that was you, congratulations. You've already got your 2% for today. So everything is just for educational purposes, as indeed all my trades are for educational purposes only. So what of today? Well, let's take because if there was a buy now, we'll be going into the sell zone. So let's have a look at the bigger picture and discover things going on the daily time frame. We have here this massive, look at that. This massive daily imbalance that needs to be filled at some stage. Because that happened on last Monday. No buying power there, no buying power on that candle. So this is all in balance. But consequently, we got massive buying, a buying fair value gap down here. So I think it's prudent that I put that in. So we'll do that right away. From that wick there, there's no selling power on that side of the candle and no selling power on that side of the candle. So that's a massive imbalance that needs to be filled at some stage. So they got choices. Which way do I want to go? Obviously, they always do that, David. But sometimes you say things and it sounds obvious when you say it. There we go. So that's. But for the last 2 days, they've been concentrating on trying going down and down and down. So following the pattern from 2 days ago, one would think that maybe we're going in to fill this imbalance here first before touching that. Let's go to the 4 hourly. And here we see areas of consolidation before getting into these massive imbalanced areas. So let's put the line chart on. And oh, this is a massive area. This is. I get my horizontal line. I need to change that from white to a darker grey. That's it. Because this is an area of resistance there, but support there and support there. So that is the latest big area. Look where it is, just above the sell zone. Let's go down to the hourly. There is that, the two spikes there. So that is the nearest area. So indeed, that's the only one we'll use. We could put a line there, but well, I think we will actually, just for devilment. because we've got a support there, and support there. So that's a massive line there, but this is where price is here. Let's make this a bit bigger. So putting it on to ordinary candles, but you can see on the hourly, we've got loads of indecision, wicks above, wicks below. We've had a bit of a sell-off at 1 o'clock this morning during what we call the Asian session. And will that continue? But usually, most times, if they sell off during the evening, the Asian session, during the London session, they go on a bit of a buy. So we'll bear that in mind. Now on the 5-minute time frame. And there's no imbalances in the immediate area, it needs filling. We've got a buy zone there actually. It's changed. Buy zone was there. Go down to the minute. Put our indicators back on. And now all of a sudden we got a buy alert on the minute. But we've got the sell zone here. But we know price is looking to buy at the moment. So turn on my if you can put your MC4 on, make sure you've got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple, that all important 1%. We don't go risk any more than 1%, even less sometimes, 0.5 maybe. If you do that, that's fine. Obviously, you've got to get twice as many right and wrong to pass your profit and challenge. But if that's the way you feel, it's always best to be more cautious. But we've got a buy alert happening. Price will go on the trend line there. And that indeed might turn green. But as you notice, we've got the stop loss here. So this is the scenario. $2.2, which is there. 2 to 1, which is there. Is price going to meet the purple line? Let's be quick about it. I'm going to go in for a buy. And that's my buy at the moment. I was anticipating the trend line to turn green, which it will do any second. Everything else is green. Green volume ribbon, buy alert, green wave. That will turn green if it goes above that there. I'm pretty sure of it because it's 3 o'clock. We have small bits of news, high impact news at 8:15, but it's only German. And then at 8:45, we've got Italian and French. but they're all cogs of the European market, so they might not come to much. So let's go a little bit higher there, aren't I? Actually, how high am I away? I am 2.6, which is pretty good. But that takes me into that takes me above. Oh no, it's still below the purple line, which is good, but I'm into sell zone territory now. I know that, but it is what it is. And also, I've got this support and resistance line here at one. I think that's more important. That the fact that uh, support and resistance line there. So I may put my stop loss if we get that far, but is price coming up to have an equal top? The trend line has now indeed turned green. So it's all official that we're in the technical that we're in the trade. I was anticipating that green. Took its time, but it got there in the end. We got that green trend line. So this is where we are at the moment. Nice to see so many people on this morning. I'm actually on vacation Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday the rest of this week, but Steve is going to step in for Academy 55 members tomorrow, and he'll be here, hopefully building on our monthly target. But there's no pressure. I mean, because it's very, very early days in August. So if you've got to learn to take what the charts give you. And if it gives you a 1% loss, so be it. Because we are in a well, quite a large consolidation, but it is a large consolidation nevertheless. It's not ideal trading. Um, the EUR USD is a more of a fair share of consolidation, and if when you think about it, as in with the rest of the world, I mean, who'd want to put big money into anything with the world in the way it is? And indeed, we have. Oh no, not quite yet, but I'm expecting. Hopefully it will rebound off that trend line. Will it or not? Because I just placed my order. That is an order. When there's low volume, that's what they do. They look for orders and then see if they can catch those orders. And the way the EUR USD has been behaving, certainly this week and last week, all this very nervy action, and it reflects what's happening globally with everybody's throat is seemingly countrywide. I mean, why would you want to risk big money when you don't really know what's happening? So that's why it's all drawn out in this sort of nervy looking behavior. At least with the US 100, when it goes, we do get bigger sways of volume when the time is right. So it could be more transparent, but this is all very nervy behavior. You can see it, there's not much going on. So it's not a really EUR USD at the moment is not the best, but things change all the time, or we never know when it's going to change. And if it does change, now, specifically now, this time of day is the time when it will change because of the London opening. We said that during the Asian session, they were on a sell, and 8, 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, if they sell during the Asian session, during the London session, the more predominant thing is a buy, although being very nervous and all very well being very nervy and such, but a buy indeed. But generally, if you look at it and recognize that the EUR USD is not the best currency to trade at the moment, and it's probably the best of a bad bunch, to be fair, if you had to trade a currency, because usually it's smooth action. So I still got faith in the EUR USD, but global events, you can understand the bigger picture why there is no wish to put big money, because it takes $10 million to move 1 pip. And knowing what we know globally, like I said, with all the fighting and the terrible things that are happening, the atrocities are happening, and countries, and with Trump and his tariffs, and it's just a absolute minefield. If you wanted to go and invest any money big time, people are after small gains, and that's why we see all these small gains. The Academy 55, and indeed any indicator, is designed to work in a trending market. You can't get an indicator to work in a choppy environment like this, but Academy 55 indicator, as far as it goes, is holding out very well, considering the difficulty in the trading at the moment. There we go. That's me defending the Academy 55 indicator. But indeed, so we've got this very choppy movement. Hopefully, we got enough volume and they want to push higher, because there is a sell bias at the moment, but we're underneath that the purple line, the EMA 462. So hopefully we'll end up being a winner. But like I said, I'm going to go back to this, be drawn by this line here, because once we reach that line there, I feel it prudent to put my stop loss to my entry if we get that far. Luckily, price came down here, rebounded off that the trend line. That's why we use the trend line. Sometimes it respects it, but depending on the time of the day and how many orders there are. Right, we're in the wow. Oh, and we got our 2%, because our stop loss was up there. I just missed it, but we saw it on the trading view. Indeed, price obviously was just a bit shy of that. And it's gone even higher now, so there's no doubt that we got our 2%, which is good. It breezed past that support and resistance line. So I'm very happy with seedings, going on my vacation now with another 2% in the bag. So what I do is I mark that up. Copy link. And on my other monitor, I have my journal opened up. I'll share it with you. So as you can see, we haven't had the best start so far for August, but it's early days. So indeed, I paste this is open up to all the members of Academy 55 incidentally. So EUR USD, the time was between 8 and 9, and it's Tuesday. And I was on a buy, it won, and it won 2%. And at the moment, that's given me a 1.3% since the beginning of August. I was minus, but now that's thrown me into the plus, which is good. So Steve starts at a plus tomorrow. And indeed, if you notice, it's gone. That was kind of what I was hoping to look at. We've got like a double top, but now we don't care whether it goes up or goes down. But it's been in the sell zone, so really, if you didn't do that trade, you would be looking at the next sell down here somewhere, to sell alert, and then coming back down again. But then you'd be looking at this buy zone. But I've already done my trade. So what I'm going to do is if anybody's got any questions about what they've just seen, please write them in the chat for the Academy 55 members. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, if you have any questions, please write them in. I'll be glad to answer them for you if I can. But before we do anything else, I'll minimize that and play a bit of this.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve. Steve will be on tomorrow morning for Academy 55 members as I'm going on vacation. Right, we had a question. Don't seem to see the spread. We don't really concentrate too much on the spread, but there's the spread there if you want to see what the spread is. It's currently at 0.2 of a pip. But with this is the FTMO version of MT4, and so there's the spread, but we don't seem to worry about that too much, because when we are trading, we make sure we are a minimum of 2.2 pips away. Minimum. Sometimes it's more. In this case, it was 2.6 pips away when I got in. But the important thing is you wait for green volume ribbon, green wave, all important buy alert first, green wave, green trend line, and up we go. And as you saw, we had a successful outcome. And it's reached forming a double top with what was created at 7:26 this morning UK time. Now, this is obviously an important area as well. Doesn't mean nothing to us to look at it. I've got something in the Academy 55 chat. Raj, can you show us again the resistance lines you drew in? And it would be good to say the price that you drew them in. Hang on. Can you show us again the resistance lines you drew in? And it would be good to say the price you drew them in when you show it, so we can take a note. Cheers. Okay, so I'll take the indicator off, go to the 4 hourly. Put the line chart on. Now, the thing is, these are right. That's the 4 hourly one, look, because we've got that is a strong indication that something's happening, because it did again. Look, see there, indeed, that's where it bounced off. Because we've got resistance at that area there. The thing is, we don't really want you to get too tied up with these. This is not a major important part. What's important is you know where the zones are and mark them up. But this is an area to look at. So that's the 4 hourly one. So that's why I drew it up there, because you can see that quite clearly where the point of the line comes down, reacts, comes down again, reacts, and indeed comes down again and reacts. So there's 3 different areas there. So around about 1.15580. I mean, yeah, I'll take a note of that, and I will mark, and I will tell you the price. Sorry, not the price, the corresponding numbers when I do it. And consequently, we went down on the hourly. And this is the next one. There we go. That was, no, this is the hourly one because, oh, right, it's really climbing now, isn't it? We'll go and look at that in a minute because we got support, resistance there, but support there. So that is obviously a very important area there. So we go down to the, I don't do it any less than an hour because these are important areas. So I'll go down to the minute again, put the price back on. Indeed, I think there's for Academy 55 members, there is a video in the back office where I go through that as well. But noted, I will actually read out these numbers here. Like I got a line at 1.156534 going forward. But these are points of interest to look at because as you see, this on the higher time frame, but I guess it's sort of stalled a little bit and indeed carried on. But when price wants to go, they either bounce or break, just like any other line. Like luckily down here for the trend line, it bounced off the trend line and then carried on up again. But if there's a strong, if there was strong buy orders down here that the price wanted to get at that time and they didn't have no reason, they didn't have a big enough urge to get up there, they would have come down and indeed taken more of these orders and possibly tapped into that imbalance area. But we know by doing this, following the green, 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 which is the most important thing, that you will have a 75% chance of actually winning because price went into the buy zone, as we saw there. Take the next buy, 75% chance of it winning. That's what we got. And Raj says he can't keep up as I'm doing these support and resistance lines, but you'll find the more days, this is a part of experience, the more days you do these sort of things, the easier they are to spot right away, the quicker you will do it, you know? But that's experience, because I've been doing this for many years now. So I basically can see imbalance areas, and if I put the line chart is the easiest way of spotting them because oh, this is on the minute. This is crazy. This is, but when you see 2 points line up, like there, for example, got a point there and a point there. So this is a point of interest, but this is on a minute time frame. I would never go any lower than the hourly, and the reason for that is, again, it sounds obvious to say it, but when you do it on the hourly, it's more significant than doing it on the minute because more people have obviously on the hourly, a greater amount of people have recognized that line than they would have if you'd have put it on the minute. It sounds obvious to say, so that's why I don't go lower than an hour on the hour to do these lines anyway. And when you're on the minute, the amount of volume changes every second, really. Hope you understand that. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. But so that's a really good way to sort of close up for today. Nice 2% win. Again, to remind you guys, all trades taken are for educational purposes only, but you can sort of read the chart just by looking at the chart, see all the nervy action that we're seeing here. It's that even on the minute time frame, look at all the indecision candles. It's not the best time of year, really. Well, it's not because of the time of year, it's because of global activities, what's happening globally at the moment with all the uh, all the fighting country to country and the tariffs and all things combined is making life for bigger investors must be making life quite nervy for them because all what they do is they invest in small term gains. Like for example, if you was to put because that one there from there 55 up to there, that's a 30,000 pip move. Sorry, 30 million pip move, 3 pip move. So they had a small gain there, and then they get out there, maybe, and then that's how it works. That might be just one company doing that, or one bank making that go higher. 30 million, I suggest it, a JP Morgan or something like that. We don't know. We don't know this. I mean, this is just fanciful talk for me, really. But right, just have a great holiday. Academy 55, best system ever. So simple, even I can do it. Well, and that's the whole point, really. And even I can do it, and I'm not a rocket scientist, Raj. That's why, and it was designed for anybody to be able to do the Academy 55 by following the simple rules of green, green, green. Up she goes. There was news at 8:15 today. Indeed, there was. But look, that's yes, well spotted. That's the actual that could be the resulting of the actual news that was from. Let's get it back up again. Let's share it. There we go on the monitor. Indeed, 8:15 there was news, and that was that one there, I guess, Spanish. And that was big enough to push out 3 pips, which is quite a surprise because Spanish news is not the biggest finance in the euro. Germany is, and then I think it's France, and then Italy, and I think Spanish might be fourth actually, but I'm not quite sure on that. Somebody else might be able to put me right on that. But yeah, we got 9 o'clock. We got news, high impact news for the euro, but we've been in and out. Kevin said have a nice break. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I'll be back again next week, later part of next week, but I haven't quite got the times yet. But Steve's filling in very ably tomorrow, Thursday and Friday for the Academy 55 members, and hopefully maybe I might talk you into trying to do the first part of next week, but we haven't seen what the news is like, so we don't know the timings of that yet. But yeah, thanks for your good wishes. Have a great break. And all I can say now is have yourself a nice week. Go and support Steve tomorrow. By the way, don't follow it. You don't have to follow him with your trades. All trades taken on here are for educational purposes only, but I do realize some people do. That's entirely your choice. We don't ask you to copy us. We're not a financial service. So just so there we go. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and have a great week and a great weekend. And speak to you soon. Cheers for now. Bye.